The book of Enoch speaks of the Nephilim of the Old Testament and how angels lusted for power and how God unleashed the floodgates. Much of the Holy Bible, the story we know today, has carefully been sorted so it does not threaten the established belief system. But the Ethiopians have kept behind closed doors a more detailed Bible. The Ethiopian Orthodox Church does have the Book of Enoch as part of its Bible. The Ethiopians kept behind closed doors a more detailed Bible comprising of 88 books instead of the conventional 66 from the King James Version. Those missing books, most notorious being the Book of Enoch, speaking of corrupted angels, humans with tremendous lifespans, the Nephilim, the Great Flood, plus many other advanced teachings left behind by our forefathers that had thrived before the global cataclysm of the Great Flood. So in case you haven't heard of Enoch, he was the great-great-grandfather of Noah. Noah, who survived the Great Flood with his 3 sons to repopulate the earth. So he was the great-great-grandfather of Noah, the righteous man, the man of good omen, that had made God's bidding and was spared the earthly demise. After he played his part, God took him besides him, unleashing the floodgates that had wiped most of the living creatures of the earth. Fortunately, a handful of select humans had made it out alive to tell the story of a time when giants roamed alongside men, and angels were teaching humanity the ways of war and knowledge. Angels meaning the dark angels, the fallen angels. Modern scholars estimate the older sections of the book, mainly the Book of the Watchers, to date from about 300 BC, and the latest part, Book of the Parables, around the 1st century BC. It's not part of the biblical canon used by Jews, apart from Beta Israel, but most Christians, denominations, and traditions may accept the Book of Enoch as having some historical or theological interest. They generally regard the books of Enoch as non-canonical or non-inspired. It is, though, regarded as canonical by the Ethiopian Orthodox Church and Eritrean Orthodox Church, but not by other Christian groups. It's wholly extant only in the Ge'ez language, with Aramaic fragments from the Dead Sea Scrolls and a few Greek and Latin fragments. Non-Ethiopian scholars tend to assert that it was first written in either Aramaic or Hebrew. Ephremic Isaac suggests the Book of Enoch, like the Book of Daniel, was composed partially in Aramaic and partially in Hebrew. Authors of New Testament were familiar with the content of the story, and they were influenced by it. The contents of the book are: the first part of the Book of Enoch describes the fall of the Watchers, the angels who fathered the Nephilim. The remainder of the book describes Enoch's visits to heaven in the form of travels, visions, and dreams, and his revelations. The book consists of 5 quite distinct major sections. The first is the Book of the Watchers, 1 Enoch chapters 1 to 36. The second is the Book of the Parables of Enoch, 1 Enoch chapters 37 to 71. It's also called the Similitudes of Enoch. The third is the Astronomical Book, 1 Enoch 72 to 82, also called the Book of the Heavenly Luminaries. Fourth is the Book of Dream Visions, also called the Book of Dreams, 1 Enoch 83 to chapters 90. And the last is the Epistle of Enoch, chapters 91 to 108. Most scholars believe that these 5 sections were originally independent works with different dates of composition, themselves a product of much editorial arrangement, and were only later redacted into what we now call one Enoch. In Christianity, by the 4th century, the Book of Enoch was mostly excluded from Christian canons. It's now regarded as script by only the Ethiopian Church and the Eritrean, they're both Orthodox churches. There is reference to the New Testament in the New Testament of Enoch. Enoch is referred to as a historical person and prophet, and quoted in Jude chapter 1, verses 14 and 15. Quote, "And Enoch also, the seventh from Adam, prophesied of these, saying, Behold, the Lord cometh with 10,000s of his saints, to execute judgment upon all, and to convict all that are ungodly among them of all their ungodly deeds, which they have ungodly committed, and of all their hard speeches which ungodly sinners have spoken against him." End quote. Compare this with Enoch 1, chapter 1, verse 9, translated from the Ethiopic, found also in the Qumran. Quote, "And behold, he cometh with 10,000 of his saints, to execute judgment upon all, and to destroy all the ungodly, and to convict all flesh of all the works of their ungodliness, which they have ungodly committed, and of all the hard things which ungodly sinners have spoken against him." Also, you can compare this to Deuteronomy 33.2. "The Lord came from Sinai and dawned from Seir upon us. He shone forth from Mount Paran. He came from the 10,000s of saints with flaming fire at his right hand." I'll leave links below for you for this from Wikipedia and also from Disclosure TV. I will also leave a link for my video having to do with the Book of Enoch, the history of the Watchers and the Egregors, for your information.